Today we'll be looking at one of my favorite simple mods to perform on old Game Boys, replacing the original plastic screen cover with a crisp, clear glass upgrade. There are a few reasons why you may want to perform this upgrade. The most glaring is the high likelihood that due to the Game Boy's advanced age, the plastic screen cover may be scuffed quite a bit, so much so that it might even distract during gameplay. Another reason may simply come down to aesthetics and gaming experience. Glass is tougher and clearer than plastic. It scratches much less easily. I replaced the plastic screen cover on my Game Boy Color about 2 years ago or so, and even without a screen protector, it has held up remarkably well. Virtually as crisp and clear as the day it was replaced. Whatever your reason for replacing the plastic screen cover with the glass one, the bottom line is that it is cheap, easy, and one of the simplest ways to improve your Game Boy experience. So let's have some fun and dig into this simple upgrade. I will mention right now that this video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, so instead of providing a link below to any specific retailer, you can easily find glass screens with a quick Google search. Just type, in this case, Game Boy Pocket Glass. Glass screen should only cost a few dollars. In the case of the Game Boy Pocket, less than 5 US Freedom Credits. First, I'll begin by showing you the fastest, yet most controversial way. Prying the old screen cover off with something sharp and skinny. I personally do not recommend this method as it presents more risk of marring the shell of the Game Boy. That being said, if your Game Boy shell is already foobar, have at it. Sometimes the plastic screen has already warped and lifted itself in one corner due to the adhesive losing its grip over the years. If this is the case, score! Just pull the plastic screen off, clean the LCD with a soft cloth, and place the glass screen in the bezel. Job done in under 2 minutes. But if your goal is preservation, let's do it another way. It's still easy, and to be honest, also a lot more fun. Alright, since it's Nintendo, you'll need a trusty tri-tip screwdriver, so take one with you. It's dangerous to go alone. You'll also need a small, ubiquitous Phillips head screwdriver. You know, it's the one in the junk drawer in the kitchen under the half-dead AA batteries. I also recommend a soft surface to set the Game Boy on while you're working. This tube sock will do. Soft socks are actually fantastic for storing a Game Boy. You'll start by removing the 6 tri-tip shell screws. Don't forget that 2 of them are in the battery compartment. Once all 6 screws are removed, gently remove the back cover. And since I'm a huge geek, let's just explore the innards for a few moments. Why? Because it's fun and fascinating. Maybe we'd all be a little happier if we just stopped once in a while to smell the roses, or capacitors. Actually, you won't want to smell capacitors. If your capacitors are stinky, that means that they have burst and need replacement. Anyway, look at the circuit board and computer chips. Pretty neat, huh? When I was a kid, I used to imagine circuit boards were tiny cities. The traces were roads and components were buildings. The tiny invisible electrons were the citizens. And now I want to play SimCity. Well, that's enough narration over the innards B-roll, so let's get back on track. Once you're inside, there are 3 more screws. These are normal Phillips head screws, so just remove them. You'll want to be mindful where you keep the screws. This little bugger tried to escape among the camouflage of this hideous office carpet. However, the finger hounds were released, and he will spend the remainder of his sentence in solitary. Was it worth it, tiny screw? Really, I just saved your life. You would have never made it anyway before the night cleaning crew sucked you into its merciless electric maw. So before or after you've removed the inner screws, you'll want to remove the power switch and detach the LCD ribbon cable. Just pull back on these tabs to release the clamp. Gently pull the cable out and you can remove the circuit board as fancy-free as taking off your pants the second you walk in your own house. The plastic buttons and rubber contact pads will fall out, but this is perfectly fine. Just set them aside. Putting everything back together is extremely simple, so don't worry. Now you can remove the actual LCD display. For this, you'll want to summon your inner Jedi and use the Force. The gentle Force. The firmly gentle Force. Do not give in to the dark side and just yank it like starting a lawnmower. The LCD panel is fairly sturdy, but not that sturdy, so just be careful as you pull against the adhesive. This is it. You're in. Now it's just a matter of firmly yet gently pushing the plastic screen cover corner from behind to get it to lift in one corner. Once it's lifted, it's a matter of continuing around the edges. Simple. At this point, don't put the glass replacement in the bezel. Instead, start by putting the Game Boy back together while cleaning it out a little bit along the way. Start by putting the LCD panel back in place. Then, while it's face down, start replacing the plastic buttons and rubber pads. It's virtually impossible to screw this up. They only drop in one way. Match up the little holes in the rubber to the plastic pegs of the case and simply seat them the only way they're able to go. The trickiest bit will be to put the ribbon cable back in its cradle. You may get it first try, or it may take some fiddling. Either way, push the clamp tabs back in and you're all set. Just lay the circuit board back into the shell and replace the 3 Phillips head screws that hold it in place. And that plastic power switch that probably fell off, it falls into place easily. From here, replace the back cover, being careful to guide it over the battery terminals, and replace the remaining 6 tri-tip screws. At this point, I like to replace the batteries and do a quick smoke test by powering it on to make sure it is operating normally and that the LCD ribbon cable is seated properly. You can probably do this earlier in the process, but you know what? I forgot. So by now, the Game Boy is 99% complete, only missing that glass screen. Just before opening the new glass screen packaging, this is when I like to clean the LCD panel with a soft cloth. Get it clean of smudges and dust because anything left over will be there forever once you apply the glass replacement screen. Now it's time to remove the protective film from the brand new shiny glass screen. Make sure to give the glass screen a good cleaning on both sides, especially the back. Because again, the back side of the glass will be just as inaccessible as the LCD panel once the glass is set in place. When everything is as clean as humanly or cyborgly as possible, you can now set the glass in the shell bezel. The glass screen comes with its own adhesive, so it sticks right in. Go around the edges with a soft cloth to seat it firmly. And voila, that's it. You're done. That wasn't so bad, was it? Plus, you got to see all the cool guts of your Game Boy. Not only that, but you've become semi-familiarized with the internals in case you ever want to mod anything more advanced, like the popular bivert and/or backlight mod. In any case, with a new glass screen, your games will look as clear and as sharp as possible. The increase in clarity is noticeable even over a plastic screen in near perfect condition. The best part of all? This upgrade only costs a few dollars, but goes a long way towards the look, feel, and enjoyment of an old Game Boy. To wrap up, I know there are a few different ways to perform this upgrade, so if you have any suggestions on how you do it, let us know in the comments below. Remember, we're talking about Game Boy mods, not open heart surgery, so whatever does the job in a way that does the least damage possible is just great. And if you make a mistake, hey, it's a learning experience. This is not life or death, just have some fun with it. I took the scenic route with this Game Boy Pocket, but I have a blue one somewhere that looks like it went through a blender. For that knackered old thing, I'd put it on my lap, pop out the plastic screen with a steak knife, pop in the glass, and be done with it before I flush the toilet. So you can mix and match the method you think works best for you. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this silly video because I sure had fun making it. Remember that we're all geeks about something, so embrace your inner geek and know that you are worthy of love and even your own self-respect. So until next time, I'll catch you in my daily podcast that's also called Geek Therapy Radio, and that's available in most podcast apps. Take care.